it's Miss Clap Rich coming to you on another beautiful day. I have some fun stuff planned for us today, and we're sticking with our theme this week, which, do you remember what it is? All week we've been talking about feelings, and mostly using our friends from Inside Out to help us. So let's see, we've already talked about sadness yesterday. We talked about anger the day before. So we have 3 left. Which one are we going to talk about today? I'll give you a hint. I'll show it on my face. Do I look scared? Because that's what we're talking about today. Fear. So we're going to talk about fear. But before we get into that, because we all have things that we're scared of and worried about, let's go over to the thankful tree like we do every day. Because there is always something to be thankful for. No matter what you're scared of or worried about, we can always find something to be thankful for. So this kind of has to do with what we're talking about today. I wrote down that I'm thankful for journals. Because sometimes when you're feeling worried about something or afraid of something, writing it down in a journal can help a lot. Just to write it out on paper and really think about it, it actually helps a lot. And I know a lot of you are amazing writers and storytellers, so don't be afraid to write down how you're feeling. And this one I wrote down talking about my fears. I am so thankful that I have a couple people in my life, family members and friends that are really close to me, and I can be totally honest with them about what I'm scared of. And so I hope that you can find people in your life that really love you and want to hear about what you're afraid of, because it really helps talking about your fears. So come on over. We're getting into fear in just a moment, but before we do, I have a little bowl of water here because I've been thinking about how much it's been raining lately and we have so many puddles outside. So I actually crafted a couple kind of little boats out of tin foil. I actually got this from a friend, a parent of one of the kids at one of my schools. She showed me how to do this. So she made a couple little boats for her kids to put in the puddles outside. Doesn't that sound like fun? So I'm going to show you one quick way. All you have to really do is fold up the sides of your foil, and that'll work for a boat. But just an example, if you want to, if you fold down a corner like that and another corner, and you leave a little space in between them, and then you fold it over, there's still a little bit peeking out there. We'll fold it over and fold it over. And then you're gonna put one fold on each side, like that. And then we're gonna put each side up like a little wall. Okay, something like that. And you can be creative. You can even put a little sail on your boat. But this kind of creates something that looks a little bit like a boat, kind of like a little pizza boat. Something like that. And what's fun is it floats right on top of the water. And just an idea, you could even try floating some things on top. Like you could try to put a rock on it. You could put little pennies on it. A little, whatever you have, a little chocolate. See how much you can put on there until it actually sinks. So that's just one fun idea, something that you can do outside since it's been raining so much lately. Like I made a little mini boat, and you can make one of all different shapes and sizes. But now getting into fear. I know right now, especially with things being so different than they normally are, we're home so much more, we're not able to go to school and see people that we normally do, and some of our parents aren't going to work. Things feel really different, and it can feel a little scary. So I wanted to talk about an idea today. I took an empty can and washed it out, because I know we've been eating a lot of things in our pantry lately, and I wrote the worry jar on there. Because when I think about being afraid and worried are pretty similar. Because let's see, here's an example of something that I wrote down that you might be worried or afraid about. I wrote down, I'm afraid I won't see my friends for a long time. So that might be a fear or a worry. It's almost the same thing. So my idea, and I did this growing up when I was a child, I really did. You could ask my mom. We had a worry jar. We would write down things that we're worried about, fold them up, and put them in the jar and try not to worry about them. Because like I just put in there, I'm worried I won't see my friends for a long time. If I'm thinking about that and worrying about it, that doesn't help the problem of me not seeing my friends. It just takes up time thinking about it. So worrying doesn't help a situation. But you know what does help? Writing it down or talking to somebody about it. Those are things that can really help. So I have a couple more ideas of some things you could put in your worry jar of things you might be worried about. And then what you can do is take them out after a few days or after a week and look at them and think, oh, I remember I used to be worried about that, but I'm not anymore. Because most of the time, things that you're worried about or afraid of, they usually get better. So that's something that you might try, okay? So this one I wrote, I'm worried I'll disappoint my parents. That might be a worry just because, you know, you're trying to do your schoolwork and doing your best for them. What's another one? Worried about my grandparents because you're maybe not able to see them and you want to make sure that they're healthy. I've heard kids talk about nightmares. Maybe you're afraid of nightmares. I wrote that one down. Here's a couple more. Worried about your parents' job. Maybe you've heard your parents talking about how things are really different. Maybe they're not able to work or go to work. What about maybe you're worried that maybe other kids or people think you're kind of weird or different? But guess what? That's a good thing because we're all kind of weird and different in our own ways. So fold up, you know, different things you might be worried about. People getting sick, or maybe you're worried that other kids don't like you. But trust me, they do, because I really like you. But if you fold them up and put your worries in here, you can put it away in your room and not worry about it anymore. It really helps to write it down. And then maybe after a couple days, you can look through it and think, you know what? I'm not worried about that anymore. I'm going to throw that one away. Or if you're still worried about something, talk to one of your parents about it or talk to someone in your house about it. So that's one important thing. And another idea is to make, what does it say on here? A feel better box. Take any old box, a shoe box, or whatever kind of box. I put colored pieces of paper all over it. And when you open it up, you can keep this in your room. It is full of stuff that will help you feel better. Just like I said with, you know, things that you're worried about. If you're worrying about something and you're like, you know what? I can't stop worrying about it. Let me go to my feel better box. What's in here? I put in a really soft blanket that you might want to snuggle up with. Maybe a couple stuffed animals that you really like. You can keep that in there. Maybe some lotion that smells really good, or a little thing like this that you can put in when you take a bath. What about, this is a cool little pillow that I like to feel and kind of play with. You can even put like a fidget spinner or something in there, something that you can kind of play with. Photos of family members that make you smile. Some chocolate, maybe. A journal. Or what about even some colors? Coloring helps me to stop worrying and to just to get my mind off of things. So try that sometime. Go ahead and try making your own worry jar. You can use anything for a worry jar, a little box or whatever you can find, and make a box full of things that when you're feeling some weird feeling, you're feeling upset or sad or worried, that you can go to this box and find something that makes you feel better, okay? So give it a try. Let me know how it works for you, and we'll have one more video tomorrow before the weekend, okay? I really care about you, and make sure your parents know that if you're worried about something specific, contact Miss Clapprich and we can talk about it, okay? All right, I care about you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.